Hey peeps, we are back. We are talking The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 15, Episode 12. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. So the ladies are still in Portugal. They are on day 3, and I'm just going to tell you up front, I'm going to be all over the place with this review. And the second thing, listen, there was nothing peaceful or healing about this trip. Absolutely nothing peaceful or healing. I don't understand why every franchise, every time, there's at least one housewife that plans this get together. They're going to go out of the country. We're going to have all this bonding and all this good time. Everybody's going to heal. We're going to be peaceful. It never happens. They should just give it up. Give it up. Just say, we're going on a girls' trip. Let's hope for the best. But be prepared because it's not going to be the best. Just say that. Anyway, at the very beginning, the producers were talking to Kenya. They were talking about her fall and how she ended up in an ambulance on her trip to Alabama and on this trip to Portugal. And she says that baby Marlo has put the root on her. And I said, that is hilarious because I was just telling one of my friends the other day, this has been one hell of a month. And I said, you know what? Somebody has put the root on me. I'm serious. Somebody done put the root on me. This has been one hell of a few weeks. I'm just saying. Anyway, I'm pretty sure no one put the root on me or Kenya. That was hilarious though. So Monyetta and Kenya were laughing and joking at Candy's expense. Monyetta was saying that Candy was very passionate, and screaming and calling Drew a liar, so much so that she was calling everyone who was at the Bolo event to verify that her eyes were not deceiving her and that she saw Drew and LaToya kissing. Honey, now listen, she called Shamia, she called Cynthia, she called Kenya, she called everybody, okay? Everybody pretty much is saying that yes, Drew was kissing LaToya except for Drew. Personally, I think that Drew is trying to hold on to this because she doesn't want Ralph to know and she doesn't want her mama to know. Honey, listen, you've been busted. You've been busted. That's all I'm going to say. So I guess while they were having this argument and Drew was going back and forth screaming that she did not make out with LaToya, she was saying a few derogatory things about LaToya. Marlo took it upon herself to record everything that Drew was saying and then send it to LaToya. Monyetta tells Kenya about this, and Kenya makes some kind of comment about how low down that was for Marlo to record it. And Monyetta kind of went with it. But then later in the episode, we find out that Monyetta was recording as well. So I'm thinking, well, when you were sitting here telling Kenya about this, why didn't you say, Marlo recorded it and she sent it to LaToya, but I recorded it also? Because also later the producer said, well, what's the difference between you recording it and Marlo recording it? And she says, well, there is no difference except I didn't send it over to LaToya. Well, that's true. There is no difference. That's why you should have fessed up to it as well when you told Kenya about it, in my opinion. One thing that I said in my last video, when Marlo apologized to Drew and Drew said you need to pretty much show me in your actions, I said in my last video, within 2.2 seconds she is going to show you that apology meant absolutely nothing. And in my opinion, video recording the situation and then sending it to LaToya, absolutely, your apology didn't mean a damn thing. You didn't care anything about this woman or her friendship. Now, Sheree said, you're on a reality show. Why are you surprised that you are being filmed? I have to agree with Sheree there. Monyetta said something almost similar. She says, when you're on a reality show, you get filmed. Everybody had their cameras out. Everybody was filming. When they said cameras down, Marlo continued to film, but Monyetta said that she stopped filming. However, she said that all of these girls are supposed to be filming their authentic self, but they don't until the cameras go down and it's just them. And then that's when they're their authentic self. I believe it too. I think that a lot of these girls are faking it for the cameras, and then when the cameras go off, they're probably really cool and real relaxed. So when Drew sits down the next day with Sheree, Sheree says, listen, girl, Candy has called everybody to verify that kiss with LaToya. And now she's trying to say that Candy was lying. And she doesn't understand why Candy would be lying like that. And Sheree says, well, Kenya said she saw it too. Then she says, well, Kenya wasn't even down there. She went upstairs. So the editors are working hard because they don't have much to work with this season. And they show a video of Kenya going upstairs, but then they show her coming back down. Kenya says that she saw it as well. And there were so many other people that said that they saw it too. I think that Drew should just tap out on this one. Either tell everyone you don't want to discuss it anymore, don't bring it up, let's move on, or just go ahead and admit that you did it. Drew even got so petty and ridiculous to say that she thinks that Candy is lying because she's going to be doing this movie with Candy, and she thinks that Candy just wants to warm her up to the idea that, girls are okay. That just sounded stupid. The producers asked Sheree, did she think that Drew was lying? And she said Drew is known for lying. She's always lying. And now she's just lying about this. This is just another lie. And the look on Sheree's face, let me tell you, I hollered. Kenya says, Drew kissed a girl and she liked it. Just admit it. At this point, I would just admit it and let it go. Girl, you're grown. And I'm sure that Ralph has kissed many women that are not you, in my opinion, allegedly. So, he should let you pass with this one. I'm just saying. So, Monyetta decides to say that Marlo, Sheree, and Sanya and Courtney were all in a huddle conspiring against Drew. Marlo, Sheree, and Sanya, I guess, were letting Courtney know that she should possibly not trust Drew. They were saying that possibly, Drew will tell lies or get you caught up, which I think is really ridiculous. Later, they get all upset and blown out of proportion because Monyetta used the word conspire. Then it seemed that most of them didn't even know what the word conspire meant. Drew had to look it up on her cell phone. Anyway, the whole arguing over the word conspire, gives a damn. You got together as a little girl gang and talked shit about Drew, Courtney's fake cousin. And you were plotting, in my opinion. Anyway, moving on. So, honey, listen, another sound bath. And I said to myself, again, every franchise has a sound bath. Okay, enough. We've had it. Now, Courtney, on their way to the sound bath or whatever, she calls Kenya a drama queen. And I said, you know what, Courtney, this reunion is going to be so interesting. The way Kenya is going to eat you alive, I'm waiting for it. I'm longing for it, actually. Then on the bus, because it's a long trip to this sound bath place, Monyetta lets us know that she's a bit of a rapper. And she gives us a bit of a rap, And, I'd rather see you dance, to be honest. I wouldn't be as rude as Sheree, but, keep dancing, Monyetta. So for some reason, I'm assuming that Courtney woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Kenya wanted to let Drew know that, Courtney, she really isn't messing with you today. Drew said she realizes that Courtney, had a frown on her face. She didn't really speak to her. The thing is, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Courtney, every single day, you're not going to wake up and be on 100. Hey, everybody, good morning, everybody. Hey, hi. It's just not the thing every day. And the night before, you guys had a very interesting evening. Maybe she just was tired. Or maybe she just got off the phone with somebody back in America and she's just not in the mood. Okay? I'm just saying. Now, honey, listen, this sound bath thing was legit. Okay, this was different from all the other franchises. They were actually in some sort of tent. They had the sound bath thing down pat. The nice yoga mats, the little headrest and all that stuff. I would have had a real good nap. I'm just saying. Now, the man gave them instructions and told them to just clear your mind, clear your mind, let everything go. But that didn't happen, honey. Drew was thinking about all of her stress that she's got with her marriage. That raggedy ass husband is really putting her through. Anyway, Sanya was thinking about getting home to apologize to her sister. Kenya was thinking about having another baby. And honey Sheree was just thinking about her glam baby. Now listen, when they got up from the sound bath, Drew says that she was thinking about her family and she could just see them waiting for her, including Ralph. Now Marlo, Lord, Marlo said Ralph is not waiting for you, Drew. He is on the Vegas Strip with that other girl. Now listen, Marlo, that was rude as hell. But I thought the same thing. I said, girl, no. He is out living his best single life. I'm just saying. Then at some point, Kenya starts to cry, and it really touched me. She told the lady there that she knows that she could do more to help more people in her, in her life, but she also feels that she doesn't know what she's done in her life to deserve such a special little girl like Brooklyn, that she's just an amazing daughter. And I started crying, and I'm not ashamed to tell you, I'm an emotional wreck. Anyway, I started crying because I know that feeling. I'm a mother of one as well. And there has been so many times that I have just cried and thanked the Lord for my son, because I think he's the most wonderful young man ever. And sometimes to this day, I'll look at him and say, how in the world did I get this boy? How did I raise such a gentleman? He is amazing. He's like 100 times better than me. And I'm just blessed and happy. So I understood exactly what she was saying. Now, honey Marlo said she was asleep. She said that was the best sleep that she has had in a long time, that she thinks she was asleep up in heaven. I said, girl, if you don't shut the hell up. But then she explained that she hasn't really been sleeping good since her home invasion. And that's when I said, oh, I feel you. I really do. Because if somebody invaded my home, first of all, I would have to sell the house. I can't live here anymore. I would feel too violated to live here. I'm telling you, somebody took something out of my garage a couple of months ago, and I could have burnt down the damn garage. I felt so violated. I'm just saying, stay the hell away from my place. I have never had anything stolen in my neighborhood. None of my neighbors could believe it. And I started thinking maybe I was crazy. Maybe it didn't get stolen, but I think somebody stole my leaf blower. Anyway, this is not about me and my leaf blower. But listen, it was rough for a first couple weeks. I kept saying, I cannot believe somebody violated me by walking into my open garage. I was pissed. But anyway, I still live here. Gosh. Anyway, moving on. So after this beautiful sound bath, they decide to sit down and have this nice little lunch. And of course, somebody has to bring up the situation from the night before. I just wish they would stop this. Can we at least get 2 bites in? We'll never get to eat. Everybody just shut up. I mean, at some point, if I was one of the girls in this group, I would just ask for my food and I would just go sit on the Sprinter van. I could eat on the Sprinter van. I don't have to be bothered. I mean, seriously. Anyway, Marlo says that she is so sick of these girls. All they like to talk about is them kissing each other, and she thinks they're all undercover lesbians except for Sanya, because Sanya's never mentioned it. Marlo, who gives a damn? If you don't want to hear the conversation, get up and leave or close your damn ears. You begged and begged and begged for years to be a part of the show and to get a peach. Now you have one. They're talking about kissing. Now shut it. Drew gets all upset. She wants to scream and yell at Marlo about recording them. And I said, wait a minute now, Drew. Wasn't it you who recorded the Prophet and LaToya? Was that Drew? I thought that was Drew. Man, I got to get me some of that Ginkgo biloba. If it wasn't Drew, get down in the comments and let me know. But I could have sworn Drew had an old school boom box and a tape last season with the Prophet and LaToya on it. I don't know. I don't even know. Listen, Drew and Marlo went back and forth. Marlo was like, I don't care. Go ahead. Shake the table. And Drew threatened to turn the table loose and just let Marlo have it. Now, here's where I tend to just be all over the place, because after this, they ended up going out to dinner, and both of those scenes just ran together for me. But between Drew and Marlo arguing and acting stupid, Sanya not being able to understand the collusion situation, Courtney doing way too damn much, it was just a lot going on. So my mind is going back and forth. But at some point, when Courtney and Kenya get into it, I just remembered from episode 1 when Courtney called Candy ghetto. I said, wait a minute. You called Candy ghetto. You started that argument with Candy at Sanya's party. And now you're starting some crap with Kenya. I think that you have the ghetto covered, Courtney. Now, another thing about Courtney. I don't think that Kenya did anything to Courtney. Courtney is just trying to get a peach. She will do anything to put on a show to get the producers to offer her a peach. She has been acting a fool ever since Kenya told her not to touch her. She really took this personal. I think that she took this so personal that she went and created exactly what she was going to do and say. Now, I do know that Kenya said there was a lot edited out. There was a lot we did not see. I thought that Kenya took it too easy on Courtney. Courtney seemed to be laying verbal jab after verbal jab, and Kenya, we weren't seeing it. I don't know if Kenya was just thinking, Courtney is beneath me, I'm not going to waste my time with her, or if it was edited out, because we all know that Kenya is the shade assassin. She is quick-witted. I think that Kenya could have absolutely annihilated Courtney, but for some reason she chose not to. Maybe she just wanted to pay Courtney a little dust, or maybe Courtney was asking for a performance so that she could get her peach and Kenya wasn't going to give it to her. I have no idea. What I did not like is production. When Courtney made some kind of comment about Kenya being evil in her behavior, production threw in a bunch of clips of Kenya going off, and they were all Kenya going off on Marlo. I said, wait a minute. These are all things that Marlo did that she pissed Kenya off, and this is Kenya defending herself. Production, I don't know what the hell was going on here. I think what happened is Courtney was pissed because Kenya showed her up and told her not to touch her. I think one of the girls said, hey, you want some camera time? You think about maybe getting a peach? This is what you do. Go after Candy. Go after Kenya. It's not going to work for you. You are not getting a peach, Courtney. And you're going to be red up one and down the other at this reunion. So Drew and Marlo, good God. Drew told Marlo to focus on those dead hair follicles that she was trying to grow back. Listen, Marlo makes the comment that Drew is so upset, she's so angry because she was lying. Drew, listen, honey, thou protest too damn much. You were going too hard for somebody to be telling the truth. Because a person who was not lying, who did not care, would have let it go. You were going way too hard for somebody who was supposedly telling the truth. Then Drew's husband texting Marlo. I don't agree with that. You know, before the commercial break, she was like, Ralph just texted me, your husband. And the first thing I said was, how the hell does he have your number? Because you best believe now, everybody knows I don't have a husband. Anyway. But if I did have a husband, he damn sure wouldn't have my girl group's number. You don't need that. Okay? Anyway, I didn't appreciate Ralph texting Marlo. Not at all. Because first of all, he's going to text her defending his wife. No. Your wife read Marlo for filth. You talked about her legal woes. You talked about her edges. You talked about her mugshot. And then when she talks about your husband and y'all's taxes and the fake alleged names and everything that came up during last season, now all of a sudden Ralph needs to step up to come in and protect you? Hell no. You went for her and she went for you and your husband. No, ma'am. You threw all those low blows at that woman, and now your husband is fighting your battles. That is not okay. Husbands are not supposed to get involved with women's situations. Now, you know I can't stand Marlo, but she was absolutely right. She really was. Your husband has no business contacting her. And you know what I thought was hilarious? When Marlo was making fun of Drew and she said, "Shake the table, bitch." Drew said, "I'll flip this table on your ass, bitch. Don't try me." And Kenya somewhere says, "Where is this love and awareness?" And she was laughing her butt off. But listen, when Kenya and Courtney were going back and forth, Marlo was getting her life. She was laughing. She was fake coughing. She was, oh my God, the pot calling the kettle black. When Kenya said that nobody liked Courtney, Marlo screamed, "I like you, Courtney." I mean, really, Marlo. Sheree was up in arms. "Oh my God, y'all are destroying my zen. Oh my Lord, this is a healing trip. This is a peaceful trip." Girl, shut the hell up. There is nothing healing or peaceful about this trip. Now, I'm going to be honest. I appreciated when Sanya told Marlo twice in this episode that she was absolutely wrong for sending that video to LaToya. LaToya did not need that video. Marlo did not have to do that. When Sanya brought up the whole thing about the collusion, Monyetta says, "I apologize if I offended anyone by my wording." Okay. And Courtney said, "Absolutely, anytime." Monyetta said, "Oh, thanks." What was that childish shit? That just reminded me of Marlo and Sheree when they were in Africa. They just do too much. These ladies, y'all are grown. Anyway, I think they were just really upset, not about the collusion, but just because their alliance was exposed. That's it. Now, I will say that it seems as if production was in an alliance with the rest of the girls as well to try to make Candy and Kenya look like the villains of the show. And they are not. I don't know what's going on, production. Who slipped you a check? Monyetta was not happy with Sheree. And she was out on Twitter and Kenya retweeted it. Monyetta said, "Whack." Remember, Sheree called her rapping whack. She said, "Here go old Two-Face. Please don't pardon the pun. Talking crazy in confessionals like she's known for. Wish she had something original that I could critique." Oh, wow. Thank you, Monyetta. Monyetta always has a word out on social media. Kenya says about Courtney, "This chick wants some of me so bad, but chickens can't activate me. Thank you for your audition, but you didn't get the part." Okay, we all knew Courtney wasn't about to be a full-fledged housewife. Now, one thing I can say that I absolutely loved, I absolutely 100% loved the scene with Brooklyn and Kenya. When Kenya told her she wasn't having a good time and people were being mean, little Brooklyn said, "I love you." And then she gave her this big old kiss. And yes, I cried. Tears rolled down my face. I said, that is so sweet. She is such a cute little girl. I would absolutely, definitely watch a spinoff of Kenya and Brooklyn. I really would. They are adorable. Anyway, you guys, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.